And the amount of catches. The game plan has been excellent, and Dwight has answered. Now, he had 3 reverse spins, long passes, and then the dominance of just backing people down. He's given us the left-handed hook, the right-handed hook, and then the offensive rebounding. Now, just watch this. Off the dribble, that's his second one. One from the right, one from the left where he gets inside. Now, if you shoot and miss, he has 3 offensive rebounds where he's gone up and scored and got to the foul line. He's 9 for 11 from the foul line. Now, what's the problem with this team? He's 11 for 16. The other starters are 2 for 15.
Wow.
Now, that has got to change here in the second half. Now, when you look at the Atlanta side, they have just played great team basketball. You're getting superior guard play from Johnson, Crawford, and Heinrich, and then Horford is shooting extremely well. The total, 19 for 31, and the guards have 35 points.
Heather Cox.
Well, Hubie, Stan Van Gundy agrees with you. He told his team the Hawks are breaking us down one-on-one, just like Dwight Howard is doing to their team. The problem is they have 5 doing it. We only have 1 doing it. They also talked about getting more offense out of their pick and roll. They need Jameer Nelson and Hedo Turkoglu to get more room on their attack. Defensively, look for improved one-on-one defense on the perimeter out of the Magic.
Yeah, glad you brought up the defense, Heather. 38 points scored by the Hawks in the second quarter. Same 10 who started the game, start the third quarter. So Jason Collins back in for Atlanta. And on the take, Joe Johnson hits his 6th field goal. Huey, the backcourt has been very effective for Atlanta thus far.
Right now, that's the 37th point. You have Joe Johnson, Heinrich, and Jamal Crawford, all 3 in double figures. They are wearing out the guards of Orlando.
Howard drawing more fouls. Collins wants the jump ball instead. We're going to get the foul, and Collins picks up his 3rd. So Collins had 2 fouls in 6 minutes and 45 seconds, and now 36 seconds later, add another one.
I like the game plan idea there. Hit him high and let him take Collins off the dribble. Collins is not as quick as Howard, and especially when he takes that bounce and the major step going strong.
Howard misses the free throw there. His 31 in the first half put him over 1,000 in his Magic career, the most of any Orlando player. You see he's played more games than Penny Hardaway and significantly more games than Shaquille O'Neal. But those 3, each one having a distinct impact on the history of this franchise, including Howard in this era. But Dwight misses both of those free throws.
Main thing for the Atlanta Hawks, continue your movement, and every time that you get the mismatches down inside, go strong. Don't resort just with the perimeter jump shot game.
Too tall the pass, Joe Johnson to Josh Smith, and Orlando will get it. Now, at the start of the third quarter, the team is down 9. We also hear it's quiet. We've brought this out several times. This new building is so great behind the Arena Bowl that people stay at the bars and the restaurants. It was a front page story in the Orlando Sentinel on Friday in the sports section. Get in the stands to cheer once the third quarter begins, and Jameer Nelson gets in the score column with his first field goal of the game.
He's relieved. You can see it. Now the main thing is you got to continue it. We told you the key for the Hawks, can you continue to play this good defense for 48 minutes? And then once you get these right here, come on, that's there for you. You just got to take the ball strong to the basket. Don't settle for the jumpers. Get the power game.
How about Turkoglu going all the way? Bass missed the cleanup. Saved by Nelson. Takes a 3. He makes it, and he made it with the backboard, still shaking.
Remember we tell you about Jameer. He's a solid over 40% shooter on threes, especially at playoff time.
On the contact, foul call on Orlando. Scott Foster's got it over there on Jameer, and here again, Heather.
Well, you guys are talking about Jameer Nelson. After the Bulls beat the Magic last Sunday, Jameer Nelson casually said, catch you in the second round to Derrick Rose. But the Hawks, Josh Smith, took notice, saying some of the Orlando players are already claiming they're going to make the second round. That definitely gives us extra motivation. Nelson's response, which I loved, he said, I'm not cocky or arrogant. What am I supposed to say to Rose? I'll see you next year.
Right.
I want to win this series.
Exactly. I agree with you, Heather. Outside of Smith 3. is good, and the lead back up to 7. Yeah, it was hey, Atlanta's going to eliminate us, so I won't see you in the second round, so have a good run. I mean, you couldn't be more foolish.
Now, this year, Josh Smith has attempted 154 threes. He's 1 for 2 tonight, but he can do the damage on Turkoglu from 10 feet down inside.
Trailing the play is Collins, going to take it and miss.
Once again, up and down, up and down. This is how Orlando wants to play. And you're going to see a lot of that, kicking the ball out. Atlanta continue to close out strong and limit the three-point attempts. Nice steal.
Good job digging down, and then Collins got an elbow, I believe, from Howard as they were turning back the other way. It's going to be a foul on Dwight, and let's see if Collins is okay. Dwight is very disappointed at the call.
Now, once the steal happens right there, you can see as he reaches back, he catches Collins. Now, believe me, that was not a flop.
Yeah, it was his
not
head.
a flop.
No.
You can see. Yeah, he's dazed a little bit here.
His head, no, his elbow. Their two heads collide here.
Yeah, keep an eye on this now. Now, watch as the arm comes up, the head and the arm. Okay, they both catches it.
Collins.
Once again now for Dwight Howard, that is only his second foul.
Right.
Very important.
Deflected by Howard. Smith got everybody in the air, but a 3-second violation called as Collins was stuck lingering in the lane.
We want to talk about the Atlanta Hawk turnovers. In the first quarter, they struggled because they had 5 turnovers. They didn't have any in the second quarter.
Right.
They've come out here right now, and they've had 2 quick ones.
They played a great offensive quarter in the second.
Yes, they did.
38 points, shot 78% from the field, no turnovers. Nelson cannot save it, and it will belong to Atlanta.
When you play Turkoglu and he comes off the screen going left, you must be careful because he loves to shoot the 3. Now, we know he's struggling in this game. He's 1 for 7.
Smith diving in, bodied by Turkoglu. Count it, and a foul.
Nice pass by Joe Johnson. Excellent recognition. See, this is a part of Joe Johnson's game that nobody gives him credit for. And this is where you want to see Josh Smith. No way can Turkoglu handle him because of strength and because of the fact that Josh Smith is bigger and he's left-handed and he can get up higher in the air. But remember, Joe Johnson leads this team in assists.
Turkoglu and Nelson have done very little for Orlando. Just joining us, Dwight Howard is 31 all in the first half, and he just picked up his 3rd foul, his 2nd here in the 3rd quarter. And Hubie, if he's in foul trouble, they've got huge problems.
Absolutely, because then you got to go with Bass and Anderson. Anderson at the center position. Now, that was a silly foul. You always tell guys, when you set the screen, just stand there. It's up to the dribbler to dribble his man off of you.
A great lesson for you young point guards listening out there from the Hall of Famer. Johnson all the way. And we got a foul on the outside as he was hit on the arm.
Now, when you look at Joe Johnson's game, remember, for the 4 previous years, he's averaged over 20 points. This year, he's only at 18. Why? Because since the All-Star game, his field goal percentage is down, but also his three-point shooting is in the low 20s. But today, he's on his game.
To show you the points, Hubie, for Johnson. Go to the 25. Now, he's been to the All-Star game 5 straight years.
Absolutely.
But you said since the break he went down. And remember, he got the big contract, essentially that max deal at 6 years, $123 million. Didn't perform to that level here in the second half of the season and was booed. He's been a little ornery. It's a big playoff because he has underachieved in the postseason compared to the regular season last 2 years.
Well, this has been a team thing. That's why we brought out all those stats, offensive stats as well as defensive stats for this team. It's still a 5-man game.
The Hawks have their largest lead. The Magic have scored 5 points in the first 4.5 minutes. And Hubie, this looks like the start of the first quarter.
I like what we're seeing from Heinrich. Heinrich is doing a terrific job on Jameer Nelson.
You pointed that out at the beginning. That's a key matchup in this series. So far, advantage the former Bull, Heinrich. Driving inside, Kirk gets a 2. And Orlando's going to need a timeout here.
Yeah, that's bad. Not only are you getting beaten off the dribble, you're getting beaten off the dribble, and it's causing layups. Where is the rotation? You say, well, where's Dwight Howard? Dwight Howard now has 3 fouls and has got to pick his spot.
Larry Drew told us today, I think he's going to have a phenomenal series, Kirk Heinrich. So far, he is.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA playoffs, brought to you by Dodge. Dodge, never neutral.
From our experiences of
the fourth game of day 1 of the playoffs. Portland, Dallas. Jason Kidd showing up for work at the American Airlines Center. It's coming up next here on ESPN. The Atlanta Hawks had a terrible finish to the season. No one was expecting them to succeed in this series, but Al Horford, one of the leaders of this team, looking at a team turning things around.
It's been frustrating for me, especially this year. Like you said, you look at our team and the talent that we have and where we should be, and we're not getting it done. But the way that I look at it now is, this is a new season for us. We're fortunate enough to be in the playoffs, and we actually have a chance to make something happen. So I was thinking about that the other day. Our last game against Charlotte, they lost, they're going home, and I'm like, well, we're still around. We have a chance, and we feel good coming into the season.
Well, they are playing that way right now. Ryan Anderson just picked up a loose ball foul, and it will be Atlanta ball with their largest lead, 13 points. Hubie, you live in Atlanta. You see this team play a lot. This is a team, as we mentioned earlier, a lot of individually talented pieces, but underachieving in the postseason the last few years. What would it mean for these guys to gain some momentum within a series?
Well, you're absolutely right, Mike. But mainly they're giving you the total game here today.
Yes.
The 3 guards have dominated, and that they're only rotating 3. Yeah. Joe Johnson, Heinrich, and then also Crawford.
Yeah.
So right now they have over 40 points. So you look at that, they're getting that. That's opening up the inside game, and they took advantage of it in the second quarter. They went down inside. Not only did they score, but they got to the foul line.
Right.
Now at the other end of the floor, right now, Turkoglu, Bass, Richardson and Nelson are 4 for 21, and the team has 11 turnovers. You can't beat anyone in the playoffs with those kind of stats.
Richardson catch and shoot off the mark. Howard hasn't scored in the half. Surrounded by 3, and the foul is called. Now, everybody's trying to say it's not Jason Collins. Pick me, pick me, pick me. They pick Collins.
Now, this is just, hey, we're not going to give you the dunk. We're not going to give you the dunk. All 3 guys fouled, no doubt about it. And that's smart basketball. He dominated the first half. Hey, not just with the 31 points, but he had 3 offensive rebounds where he not only scored, but he got fouled. So this is smart. Take away the dunk, make him make the foul shots.
He makes that one. The foul on Collins was his 4th. Hubie, Howard was fouled 150 times more than anybody else in the league. Blake Griffin next. And third was almost 300 fouls. Amari Stoudemire behind him. So this is a guy who gets fouled more than anyone. And today, he's been fouled 12 times.
Well, Mike, that's a great point. Now, he leads the league in dunks at 227. He has 12 to 15 more dunks than Blake Griffin, okay, who we see dunking every game, all right? So that's what Atlanta is taking away. Force him to shoot the high percentage on the line.
Pachulia traveled as he flashed inside. Collins to the bench with 4. Pachulia now on the floor. He's got 2 fouls. Orlando, like the first half, a slow start to this half. Just 6 points, 3 turnovers in the first 5 minutes and 45 seconds of this third quarter.
Yeah, the coaching staff is waiting for the other 4 starters to wake up here, and let's work yourself open. Now look, Dwight Howard, when he's got the Jula pin, you got to get him the ball. You just wasted 6 seconds here.
Now Heinrich came digging down and knocked it off Howard's leg and out of bounds. So a great job of mixing their defensive approach.
Now that is his 4th turnover, okay, in regards to catches in the paint. Now we know that he has another turnover, okay, for an offensive foul.
Right.
But right now, they're doing a good job digging down in there and getting back to the three-point shooters.
It's that guy again, Heinrich. I've always loved his game. Horford across the lane on Anderson. Pachulia got the rebound. That's four on Dwight Howard. And a hard foul and a technical foul called on Dwight Howard for the way he fouled Pachulia. Now, couple of things. One, they're over the limit, and you're going to get a technical foul. Second, 4 on Howard, they're in big trouble. Third, Howard was over the limit on technical fouls in the regular season, thus getting a suspension every 2 tees he got. That resets for the playoffs.
Correct.
That's the first on the count toward that.
Now, Pichula is very active on the offensive boards, and we could see that he had an easy opportunity. That was just a silly, not so much the foul, but the reaction after the foul. As he watch what happens here now. You see, now he's going to foul, but now that you do not need. That is an automatic technical. No way at playoff time are they going to allow you to do that.
So Dwight has 4 and the tee. Joe Johnson made the tee. Pachulia at the line for 2. Howard got that shove from Pachulia on the start of that play. Great job by everybody in the truck showing the first end of that, which may have frustrated Howard, who is still on the floor here, Hubie, down 17 with a quarter and a half left, sitting on 4 fouls.
Yeah, and Mike, you can see it. You can read the faces of the Orlando team. They can't believe what's going on here right now. But outside of Howard, what are the 4 other guys doing from a production standpoint? Now, you see, once again, Heinrich, he's chasing Nelson over the top of the screen. That way Nelson can't stop and take a shot.
Well, watch Dwight there. Dwight is frustrated with Pachulia. Watch this here after the pass goes out. There's a little bit of frustration between these two right there. And Ronnie Garrettson told Dwight, hey, you stop. You're already sitting on 1.
That's
I don't
right.
want to throw you out of the game here.
That's exactly right. I give Ronnie a lot of credit because he told him.
Now, let's be honest. Pachulia is annoying and a pest.
Oh, he is.
And he's under Howard's skin right now. Josh Smith came over for some defensive help.
4 on 2 here.
Heinrich's at the line for 3. Pachulia couldn't squeeze the rebound. Here comes Jameer Nelson all the way to the rack.
Now that's Jameer at his best. In the open floor, when he's ahead of you, he's going to drop that left shoulder into you and get the body contact as he releases the shot.
Horford over Anderson for 2.
Anytime they hit Harford down inside, he's either been fouled or he has scored, either on the left side or the right side. I like what we're seeing from the Hawks offensively in the second and third quarters.
Turkoglu challenged by Josh Smith, fouled by Smith. Foul called here. 4:14 to go. Orlando has scored only 8 points here in the third. Well, the national TV coverage of the playoffs continues. Tomorrow on TNT, Memphis-San Antonio Game 1. New Orleans-Lakers Game 1 on your ABC station. This series, Game 2, Tuesday night NBA TV. And our ESPN doubleheader Friday night, we'll have Game 3 of the Celtics and the Knicks and the Lakers and New Orleans. Nelson a 3. 10 in the quarter for Jameer. Matter of fact, he has 10 of the Orlando 11 here in the third.
See, Heinrich would chase over the top. That time Crawford, who's replaced Heinrich, he got picked off. You've got to get over the top so Jameer does not get that look. That's what he's looking for.
Howard playing with 4 fouls. Comes to double. Off Anderson, 5 to shoot.
Now, because of Harford scoring, they're going to double team, and then someone's going to be open.
You see Nelson here in this quarter, keeping Orlando within contact. Still a huge deficit. Hawks led by as many as 17 just a moment ago before that 3 by Nelson. Beating the clock, another outside shot for Al Horford, who's having a terrific game. 7 of 11 from the field. As you see, 16 points.
The difference at both ends. Atlanta getting good looks. I like that. Once again now, remember, when Heinrich's in there, they're not getting that. All right, right now, Jamar was late. And then Jameer Nelson said, I'm going to continue to come off of that high screen, turn the corner, and if you're not with me, I'm shooting that long jumper.
Nelson 11 of the 12 in the quarter. Out of the corner, Crawford hits a three. Timeout, Orlando. The Magic defense has been embarrassed here in the second and third by the Hawks.
Give all the credit to Joe Johnson, Heinrich, and Jamal Crawford. They are shooting sensational percentages, and they're killing you on the 18 to 24-foot shot.
Our fourth game on day one of the 2011 playoffs. Brandon Roy and Portland at Dallas. Dwight Howard doing a lot of smiling as we take a look at tonight's Dodge driving success. In the first half, he had 31 points, a Magic franchise record for a half. Only one here in the second half, but 12 rebounds, big imprint on the game. However, in the second half, Atlanta's been using their fouls, more physical with Howard. He's become frustrated, picked up a technical foul, and his team's in some trouble. They are down 16 with 14 and a half minutes left in the game, and Jameer Nelson, Hubie, is having a great third quarter.
Now, that time Atlanta came out, and they took Crawford off of Jameer Nelson, and Joe Johnson played him, and the same thing happened. Joe Johnson went over the top, but when he turned the corner, the other defender wasn't there, and it gave him a lane to the rim.
Other than Nelson, the Magic only have 3 points here in the third. Pachulia working on Anderson. Missed it. Rebound for Anderson.
In the quarters, second and third, Atlanta is 21 for 30 right now. 21 for 30.
Anderson missed the three. Nelson got the cleanup. 17-point quarter for Jameer. 12-point game. Fans urge the Magic on.
That's why we said at the top, the Heinrich Jameer Nelson matchup is critical, because as you can see, Jameer is the one who sets the tone.
Joe Johnson right around Redick. Too tough a guard for JJ.
Joe Johnson, 7 for 11. Got 20 points in this game. Playing very big.
Nelson putting on a show here in the quarter. Got another offensive rebound.
Nice.
A three. Got that two.
Great decision. Great decision by Anderson. He was wide open, and he's a three-point shooter. He went right back to the hot guy.
Johnson fouled. Free throws coming. Jameer Nelson, 20 points here in the third.
And he, once again, he turns the corner, and how about that? He splits Josh Smith and Pachulia. That was too easy. Right here on the offensive glass. He's giving us everything. He's staying down inside. This is a terrific decision. Out to Anderson, back to you. You're wide open. And now it's the pressure of making the shots, and he's making them.
Nelson, with the 20 here in the third, has just set an Orlando franchise record for most points in a quarter of a playoff game by one player, breaking his record against Charlotte in the first round last year.
All I know is they're setting all these records. They're down
losing.
12. They're down 12. All right? As soon as Redick came in the game and went on Joe Johnson, they're taking him down inside. Now look, Joe Johnson, he's an 85-plus foul shooter, but that is where you go. The percentages are in your favor.
Back to Dwight Howard. Now Horford guarding him.
Nice.
And that's what Atlanta wanted to avoid. Horford getting in foul trouble, guarding Dwight Howard. That's how they lost the playoff series last year.
Well, right now they're right back, you know, with Williams back in this game. Joe Johnson, too bad right there. Give Redick a lot of credit. He's bumped him out.
Johnson got around him. Howard got all the way up, and they're going to say he goaltended.
Main thing for Atlanta, come on, regroup. Here's the shot.
He just got a fingertip on it.
Yeah, he
just got a fingertip on it. That was a good call. Orlando bench didn't get on the official, but just barely. It's a very good call by Derek Collins. And now here's a foul on Horford.
Right now, Atlanta has got to regroup. Many times you say, well, there's 24 seconds, I'll wait. All right, and we'll talk about this. You have to regroup right now so that your guys can say, hey, wait a second. Calm them down. Right now, you know that if you play behind them, you can't with the pushing with the hands out in that situation. And then when he makes the spin move, you foul him. But the big pressure now on Dwight from now to the end of this game is, can he make the foul shots?
Struggle here in the third. Can Chris Paul create some magic for the New Orleans Hornets? They're going to need a lot. They didn't beat the Lakers this year. So they get game one against Kobe and company, trying to start their run to a third consecutive NBA title. Buick Regal NBA Countdown, 3 Eastern. The Lakers and Hornets from Staples, 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific, on the home of the NBA Finals, ABC. Howard has missed 6 of his last 7 at the line.
Smart basketball now. Play the shot clock. Get a high percentage shot. Good substitution. Hugh Richardson came in to play Joe Johnson.
Quentin Richardson, solid defender. Shot clock off. And oh boy, Howard almost picked up a 5th foul. 2.6 to go. Nelson's been the star of the quarter. Can he finish with a 3? Online, just short. Well, the home teams have struggled thus far today. The Atlanta Hawks have a 14-point lead. What's Jason Terry doing? Is he playing Tiger Woods EA Sports Golf in there? What's going on? Portland and Dallas comes up in the 4th quarter. After 3, the Hawks by 14.